investigation. Detective Levitt told me he had applied for and received a search warrant to extract all of the information off of the device. Detective Levitt was able to retrieve the device from evidence and then gave it to me. I took custody of the phone and took it into the forensic lab located in the investigation section in the PD. And then a whole bunch of stuff's blacked out here, so I don't know what this said. I was also able to do a physical extraction of all the data and information from the phone. I then let Cellbrite software begin to analyze the information that had been extracted. I then disconnected the iPhone from that computer. I then connected the iPhone to a second computer at the PD running the Lantern software designed for Apple devices. After connecting the phone, I did use the unlock code that I had obtained blank to unlock the phone. Once this was done, I used the Lantern program to extract further information from the device. After all the information was extracted, the phone was returned to Corporal Levitt. On today's date, 10/30/14, I was able to finish gathering all of this information that had been extracted from the phone using the 2 software programs. Copies of these electronic reports were placed into evidence under this case number. In addition to this, copies of these electronic reports were given to Corporal Levitt for his continuing investigation. Okay, we're moving on to the next page. We're getting close to the end. All right, on 11/18/2014, so November, approximately 1300 hours, so that is 1 p.m., I met with blank and his mother, so the minor and his mother, blank at the blank, where they are living. So it looks like that was her name. On 11/18/2014 at approximately 1 p.m., I met with the minor and his mother at the address where they are living. At this location, I collected 2 buccal swabs from the minor as a reference sample. So understand the difference. They collected that as a reference sample. And also, I wonder if they collected his clothes that night. It doesn't say. To collect the samples, I swabbed the left inner cheek and the gum line of the minor's mouth first with a sterile swab. After this swab was collected, I removed my outer gloves and collected a swab from his right cheek. The samples were dried and later placed into evidence to be sent to the lab. On 11/19/14, I researched Spillman in reference to a traffic stop that occurred on 6/20/14 at approximately 0:26 hours. So this was at midnight 12:30 a.m. This traffic stop was conducted by Officer Woods on a vehicle bearing Idaho registration. The occupants of this vehicle were Heather Sitko as the driver, blank as the passenger, Heather Sitko as the driver, blank as a passenger, blank as a passenger, and blank as a passenger. This traffic stop was conducted gives an address. This confirms information I received from blank and blank in reference to 6/20/14 when this incident occurred. The radio logs for this traffic stop were printed and placed on the case file. Oh, so she had a traffic stop on 6/20/14. So they got interesting. Girl, you had already seen the police that day? You had already seen the police that day. And you still did this that night? I would have had the heebie-jeebies. Yes. But there was other people in the car. Now, the other thing, the minor said that he went fishing. That was when they went fishing. It was a very eventful day. 6/20/14 was a very eventful day. Oh, that's it. Redaction log. It just says what was redacted. So that was the report. So no, that was a different one, but I'm curious to know about that too, because if she's just lying about everything, like, So no text listed from the victim and her. Doesn't look like it. It looks like there was no evidence of that. I really think that this was a one-time thing. However, we don't know. According to, I mean, these are the reports. There should be court documents because she did go to court. She did have a lawyer and she pled down to, I mean, she pled guilty. That's how she got the lesser charge. Because I remember me and my mom being questioned and them asking if we don't know if the swab came back. Be a report from the district attorney's office. Don't worry, we're gonna try to get that. Yeah, they would, I mean, typically, like, that's what the evidence is. They took the cell phones, they took the some states have changed age of consent. That might be why. This case used to be sealed and then it was unsealed, and I don't know why it was unsealed. She's gained 1,000 followers since last night. There's no way. There's no way. If that's true, then she bought them to make it look like she's not losing followers. You know, the current husband was sitting there with her when we did this interview. So he is aware of the charge that she had. However, I'm sure he knows of the story she has told. I think it was unsealed because of the plea deal. A possibility. So like I said, the only other thing that I care about knowing is if when her child went to live in foster care, did she cause those injuries? All right, I don't know why my phone sound is on. My family knows we've been told this, definitely not aware of a lot of this. Your family knows what? Yeah, she said she stayed at the foster home the whole time. Was that true, Regina? That's not how foster care works. Yeah, I thought the same thing. So I just want to clear that up right off the bat.
I also want to clear up, you know, posting my kids and shit. And she messaged me and was like, I'm not scared of you, bitch. I'm not scared of you. Then blocked me. All right. So Texas, right? She comes to Texas often. There is a law.
This is the thing that I don't like when she does this part right here. Let me bring this back to the...
Called mutual combat. She wants mutual combat. That's fine. Heck? I'll mutual combat. But she wants to be on the internet and talk shit. No, I don't do that. I talk shit about DVs, but you want beef? I got real beef. You want to beef in person? That's fine.
See, she got aggressive right away. So not understanding, like y'all can listen. Some people are step parents. I know that's hard for y'all to understand, but some people are step parents and those are their children too. And if you have orders, it doesn't matter if you're the biological parent. If there are orders from a judge that says you need to remove that, I don't want to see my face. That's what it says, and that's not okay. I wouldn't be okay with that either. Nobody should be okay with do this without seeing my face. Like, that's weird. That is weird that Rudy did that. That is weird. She called somebody a PDF, but yet she shared that. That is weird. Yeah, I was under the impression in this that she had shared a that's creepy. That inappropriate picture behavior. Of the so okay. I didn't even know that aspect. That's disgusting.
It's not even like it's something that is so fucking gross. Like, what words do you have?
Shout out to those bonus parents. Yeah. So did she? It got removed off of Instagram.
It's been reported to the child exploitation website. It's been reported.
Yeah, as you should. That is weird. That is creepy.
allegedly she did that is what they're saying. But I mean, if you want to show the proof of that, I mean, you would just have to block out everything. But that's also like, it's weird to be like, prove it. Show us that picture.
No, that is weird. And y'all can either take my word
I want to reassess this.
I'm not showing anything of my kids.
That's where we're at in this. We're going. So if you do not want to rewatch the interview, we're comparing it to the police report now.
That's creepy. People are weird.
Yeah, I bet she. How did she report? That's what I'm saying. Child exploitation. This girl. Literally.
So regardless, I know that she posted pictures of your kids. And even if, like, y'all can say whatever you want, even if it was that, even if it wasn't, she posted pictures of the kids. Even I saw that, and that's not acceptable. So that's creepy. That's creepy. Like, I don't go out and go, you know what? You know how I want to hurt them? I'm going to get pictures of their kids and share it. That's.
I'm not going to name her because we are still in contact. Sorry, there's a fly attacking me. We are still in contact.
Wait.
Even I saw that, and that's not acceptable. So all right, that's creepy. That's creepy. Like, I don't go out and go, you know what? You know how I want to hurt them? I'm going to get pictures of their kids and share it. That's weird.
Fucking disgusting.
Yes, kids are off limits. I still think it's inappropriate that Rudy, because that's not even like that's her husband's kids and another mother's kids. Those weren't even Heather's kids that she shared. She shared her stepchildren.
Like, if it's about your charges, reasonable. You know,
she pinned a video naming the baby mama. Oh yeah, she names the baby mama. She drags the baby mama.
Just go and try to hurt somebody's kids in the process. That's weird.
Showed the baby mama's entire Facebook and her boyfriend's Facebook.
We'll just start from the beginning. So I have everything here. How many kids do you have? 3. So
God, the mic quality was so bad. I'm so sorry.
1 is biological and 2 are step.
Okay. Do you have a child?
She talks so slow that
system.
When he was 2 months old,
she stalks and will message any boyfriend. What do you mean, wild child?
Tell you how long? A month, maybe. And that was due to me freaking out about CPS even being involved when it was due to a car accident that happened.
Even if the baby mama's boyfriend is in his 20s, that's a legal adult.
And I freaked out. And then my
I have this on one
wife
point
at the time text mailed me and was like, you don't worry, I'll take custody. And this is a bitch that I've had beef with since I met her. And I pulled up to her door and immediately went to jail. And they're like, you have anger issues.
Okay. So it was your sister-in-law. Explain.
Yeah. Sister-in-law, not sister-in-law anymore.
Okay. So it was your brother's ex. And so is that who, when they say foster care, was that who your kids were with?
Nope.
To be clear, the mother of her stepchildren did not abandon the children. She was deployed. She was in the military and she was deployed. When you are in the military, your children, you have to, like, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to take them with me. You have to leave them with their other parent or like a guardian. There has to be a guardian, and you even have to sign papers for that just in case something were to happen. So she had to leave her children with her ex-husband. Then Heather and the ex-husband decided they weren't giving the kids back. They did not win full custody like she lied and told me. None of that was true. They just have not been giving the children back. Or your son, which is disgusting.
So my son,
never in my life have me and my husband ever, even in the worst times of our co-parenting, withheld the children from their mother, because it is an awful feeling for a parent to go through that. And not to mention, scary for the kids. To make the kids believe that their parent abandoning them is horrible to do.
went with this lady. I'm not going to name her because we are still in contact. Sorry, there's a fly attacking me. We are still in contact till this day. She was just a foster parent, and she reached out to me on Facebook and was like, this isn't right what you are going, because
all it does is hurt the kids. Bashing the other parent, all it does is hurt the kids.
I got injured, and she was like, it's not right. And this lady, actually, I did not spend one day away from my child. She invited me to her home the entire time. The entire time it was on, this is why I'm not giving her info. It was on the DL. I spent no time away from my son. No time.
So what was the what was the actual reasoning that they, because
I'm sorry you're going through that stage.
It specifically says that y'all had to, both of
My
you,
husband went through that for a long time and it was very difficult, but
to pay,
there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I pray that you get there too.
Had to pay child support to.
Oh yeah, I can see why she homeschools them now too.
Yeah, you have to pay for whatever the person, what are they called? The fosters?
Your 21-year-old's still a baby. I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to pay for their, obviously, what they're doing. You pay child support, just like you do if you have your child and one parent has more time. So, yeah.
Foster parents.
Yeah, foster parents, sorry.
So, is that what Heather told you, Regina, though?
Someone said in the chat. So, like, both of y'all.
Heather's just not a very reliable person. The mother has filed
my son's father actually
to get custody back. So that's not a parent that's not attempting to see their children.
I cannot recall how long it was, but he ended up getting custody prior to me getting custody because I went crazy. I went absolutely nuts.
How old was your son?
About 2 months, 3 months.
Do you feel like you
having injuries?
I'm a foster and I would never. Yeah, it's actually dangerous. There's a reason you can't do that, Blazing Bay.
But they were healing injuries.
There's just like you can't do that. That you would lose your ability to be a foster parent.
Not tailbone.
Pelvis.
Close.
Yep, Aaron. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's a pretty common one in kids. So did they think the injuries were from the car wreck, or did they think the injuries were from you? Like, what was their reasoning?
No, it was not. They did not think that it was from me. They did not think that it was from the car accident. They did not know how.
Yeah, how would you not remember your only biological child's injuries? The child you've had their entire life. How would you not remember their injuries?
It had to have been the fucking car accident, is what it ultimately came out to.
And I understand that this is difficult. It's not easy to talk about. I get that. And so I do appreciate you coming on and talking about it. And these are hard questions and they suck. And I mean, I've had anxiety all day about doing this because I do have sympathy for everyone. And I know that people have the capability of change and whatnot. And it is hard to take accountability in situations like this. So it's appreciated that you are coming on and answering questions.
Kim Dodson, you can go ahead and shut the front door.
She was so aggressive.
Every fucking situation is different. Your sister had a car accident and didn't lose custody of her kids. Let me go ahead and applaud her for that, because what I went through was fucking traumatic. For me, my son was born 2 months prematurely. He was small enough to fit in the palm of your fucking hand. So you can go ahead and mute that bitch. Fuck her.
So did you? Okay.
No, I wasn't under the influence. I was sitting at a stoplight, you guys. Sitting at a stoplight. A lady came going 50 to 60 miles per hour.
She does get aggressive when she lies.
While I was at a stoplight.
Yeah, I mean, that is noted. I mean, there was no charge of like reckless driving or anything like that. So I think like on my channel, I have sub only chat turned on. It's up to you how you want to do it on yours.
Oh yeah, we'll do that too. How do I do that?
It's a good question. I don't know. I did it on the computer. Maybe in your settings.
She stated that she was pregnant in this wreck. So she is stating that because she got in this wreck when she was pregnant, that is how this baby's bones were broken.
At this point.
However, I want to,
as a together.
So I hate to do
this.
Goes
to foster care in this time period.
As a nurse, if the wreck was bad enough to cause you to go into early labor, I don't think if your baby was that little at that time that they would have survived the wreck if they had broken bones like that, because they probably would have had. So if you don't know why as a woman you get the vitamin K shot, it is to help with clotting, because the babies don't clot immediately like they're supposed to. So she wouldn't have had that shot yet. And the babies, this is unfortunately graphic, and I'm sorry to do this to y'all, but I'm sorry if this is triggering. So the baby would probably have bled out internally.
if that was the case, because if they were already early, not everything's formed yet. I'm also not a baby nurse. I do want to clarify that. Not a baby nurse. But if the wreck was that bad that she went into preterm labor and somehow her internal stomach had been damaged so bad that the baby had these broken arms and leg, that baby would have more than likely, I will not say it's impossible because I don't know. I'm not Jesus and I'm also not a doctor, but I will say that it is very unlikely that these injuries would be from this car wreck, because that baby would not have survived, more than likely. She specifically said that the child got out of the hospital before her. It's just weird because you said the baby was born 2 months early. That would have meant that the baby needed to be in the NICU. And I'm not saying that your baby wasn't born early. I'm just saying that your baby would have more than likely been in the NICU if he was the size of your hand. And they would have known because the NICU is very vigilant. They would have known if the baby was, I know because I was a NICU mama. There would be signs that the baby was in pain. There would be signs. If the baby didn't get that vitamin K shot, right, if that baby wasn't born right directly after the wreck, they would have bled out in your stomach. I don't remember him ever having a broken bone from the car accident. I remember it being later on. Exactly. So I'm just saying, those are things that do not add up. Because of the history of anger, because of the history of just aggressiveness, drug use, all of that, it is concerning that she may have injured her child in one of her fits of anger. Does that mean that she purposely beat the child? No. She could have shook the child. And I will tell you that it happens more than you know. I was a pediatric nurse. Over 50% of the kids that I was a kind of like a home health pediatric nurse, most of our kids had disabilities. And a lot of their disabilities were from their parents had shaken them or, yeah. So it's awful. They are never the same after that. There's issues. So, I mean, yes, shaking is purposeful, but I'm saying like, I don't think she was probably not beat. I mean, I don't know. But, you know, tossing a baby. I mean, a baby doesn't break its arms and leg very easily. Both arms and leg. That's crazy. It's almost like the baby fell off of something. And because a baby doesn't know how to manipulate its arms and stuff, yeah, it's extremely sad. That is why postpartum and making sure that the father is, you know, getting like these things are very important. If you don't feel, yes, when babies are little, a doctor once told me that if you drop the baby, it'll bounce. Babies are just like, you got to be trying to hurt them is pretty much what a doctor told me one time. And I'm not lying to you. It literally said that. Don't know that that's a very nice thing to say, but as fragile, he was referring to the fact that we think they're so fragile, you know, but that they're really not that fragile. So I'm just telling you this because like I can remember with my son trying to put his clothes on. Girl, when I tell y'all, I was terrified to put my son's clothes on. And then he'd be just screaming bloody murder because I'm trying to get his shirt on and I'm trying to be as gentle as possible. And he had a big old head. My kid had a big old head and I'd be trying to get that thing on. I miss those days. Their bones are like spongy. Yes.
So, can someone repin the sister's comments? She said she remembers the accident. I didn't read it. I know. You'd be like, and then with my second born, I was like, trying to burp her, like, come on, let's get this thing out, girl. We got to go to sleep. Yeah. So it's actually fun. Not funny, but like when a child has a bad cough or when your baby's sick, it's called percussion that you can do on them, which they do sometimes when kids have cystic fibrosis as well, to break up the stuff that catch it, like the phlegm and stuff that catches in their lungs so that they don't get pneumonia and whatnot. Yeah. A lot are not joined together. Yeah. So your stuff, you're still developing after you're born. And if her child was not born at term, you do that in your job. Nice. Yeah, asthmatic. See? And you gotta play them drums on that back, baby. Cupping method. So, she said the baby was the size to be in a walker when his leg was broke. That's what I'm saying. Like, did he fall off of something and she just didn't want to admit that? Yeah, the way you cup your hand makes it sound loud. Yep. That's right. Your cerebral, are you saying cerebral palsy? One of the little girls that I took care of, she had cerebral palsy and I miss her so much. She was the sweetest little babe and she was so funny and we bonded so much and just amazing. She would just smile at me. She was just so cute. The best. I miss her. They moved away and so they didn't get to be my patient anymore. Can she get in the box? Her child was born November 2010. Court docs show child support stated. I can't pull that up. I can't click that comment. I don't know why. The preemie was walker size. That's what I'm saying. So like she didn't adjust. So when you have a preemie, you know that you have to adjust their age, especially in the first year, because technically a baby born at, you have to do their adjusted age. So a baby born 2 months early, you have to add those, like you would say, even though the baby is 2 months old, they would technically be a newborn. Does that make sense? Yeah, she said her son went to foster care at 2 months old. So it just doesn't, none of it adds up. None of it adds up. He wouldn't be a no walker. Why was he not able to see the baby?
Honestly, I have no idea. Okay. I don't know. It was just
because they thought both of y'all injured that child.
And
was there a safety plan
or anything? With the baby being 2 months old with recovering injuries is what I would think.
Were his injuries discovered when you went to the hospital for the wreck?
No, his injuries were discovered because one day he just started crying and took him to the hospital.
And you believe that the injuries were from the wreck, is what you're saying. So it was like when the injuries got discovered, you had, like, it wasn't like you got in a wreck and the baby went to foster care that day. It was like you. Regina, do you remember the child's father having custody at any point? Or went to the hospital?
I was in the hospital due to the wreck. The baby was released from the hospital early because all he had was jaundice at the time. He wasn't showing, and obviously you don't fucking scan babies when they're just born. Not that I'm aware of, but he did not show any signs other than jaundice. And so he got released, but stayed at the hospital with me. I was in the hospital for a couple of months.
Okay. And then, so why was she in the hospital for a couple of months for a car wreck? I'm just curious what happened in that car wreck that caused. She started to say he wouldn't stop crying. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And that's typically what happens is when you did something to your child, you didn't realize that you hurt them in that moment. Then they're in shock. So they're not crying too much at first. Then they begin to cry a lot. You just think they're just a cranky, mad baby and you don't like them that much. But then you're like, oh, he won't stop. We're going to the doctor. And then boom, broken limbs, broken leg from what you did. And it's healed on its own. And they can tell that. And they can tell that it's been like that for a while. So you let your baby sit in pain for, in your opinion, I mean, if it happened around the car wreck time, 2 months. I mean, it was all the time. I didn't know the whole custody thing, but I do remember him being with dad and grandma. Grandma doesn't want to, grandma don't want to come up and talk. I don't think grandma wants to come up and talk either, but the sister doesn't want to come up and talk. You were in the hospital. So when did he get taken from you?
Like, whenever the date stayed, I cannot remember the date.
Well, like I'm saying, like more like time frame of like, so when you got out of the hospital, was that when he got taken away from you?
No. So it was whenever he went to the hospital and his injuries, he got a full body scan. I went absolutely ballistic. Absolutely went pulled up. I got obviously put in jail for that, got charged with assault, and I was deemed unfit for anger.
So that's why they took it had nothing to do with anything else. It was because of the getting the assault charge.
But CPS was involved, like whenever the.
Or
so
went to the
I
hospital?
was in the hospital due to the wreck. The baby was released from the hospital early because all he had was jaundice at the time. He wasn't showing, and obviously you don't fucking scan babies when they're just born. Not that I'm aware of, but he did not show any signs other than jaundice. And so he got released, but stayed at the hospital with me. I was in the hospital for a couple of months.
Okay. And then, so you were in the hospital. So when did he get taken from you? Like,
whenever the date stayed, I cannot remember the date.
Well, like I'm saying, like more like time frame of like, so when you got out of the hospital, was that when he got?
Sorry, I had to hear this part again.
So it was whenever he went to the hospital and his injuries, he got a full body scan. I went absolutely ballistic. Absolutely went pulled up. I got obviously put in jail for that, got charged with assault, and.
Why did she go ballistic though? She went to the hospital. This was when the baby wouldn't stop crying and she took the baby to the hospital. Why was she pulling up on somebody? So as mandated reporters, when a child comes into doctor's office, hospital, whatever it may be, and we realize that this is possible. I mean, that means in their eyes, they said, this is child smusmuse. When they got the results of that scan back or whatever else was going on with this child at that time, whether he was malnourished, whatever it may be. The people in that room with that baby called and made a mandated report. The doctor, probably the nurse as well, because we're all required to. Whoever was in that room. Regina said the mom and sister noticed something wrong with the baby. Wait, what? Y'all were who noticed Regina? Regina, if you want a box, you can come up. I know you're probably scared, but I'm not a mean person, even though it may seem like that. If she was guilty, it should matter if they say it, right? I was the baby 2 months, but she was in the hospital for months. That's what I'm saying. Her story didn't line up with what the doctors found. Yeah.
I was deemed unfit for anger.
She was deemed unfit for anger. That tells me that me and my mom were watching him and noticed that he just wouldn't stop crying. So y'all were the ones. Did y'all take him to the hospital? Or did she bring him in? She went ballistic when she found out they weren't going to let her be around that baby anymore, is when she went ballistic. I can guarantee you that. I told y'all it gets worse. I didn't think it could get worse. We don't know for sure all the details on this. We're trying to get them. It was her anger and she hurt him. Your sister did bring him in? I mean, I guess at least she did that.
It had nothing to do with anything else. It was because of the getting the assault charge.
But CPS was involved, like whenever the injuries came out, like that day. But I went crazy.
And so that is, like, I will say, I'll give that. So if a child comes to the hospital, doctor's office, anything, we're mandated reporters. Unexplained. That's an
just
unexplained
like
injury. You know what I mean? So in that sense, especially femur bone, arms being broken, like, because that can be from smooth, you know, like that.
She said she went crazy after like they did the scan and he had injuries.
If y'all are confused, you can put your question, because y'all are subs, you can put your question, and if I can voice it for you, I will. But so they reported it, and then CPS was involved from that point. Then that's when you had said she texted you, the sister-in-law, the ex-sister-in-law texted you.
Oh, my harassment charges? I don't know.
I guess we're trying to organize what. So when you got charged with, hold on. Like specifically this one with I'm trying to look at the date. So this was 2011. The other happened in 2011. So these must have been around the same time, because it was August 2011. This one was, so it looks like you had telephone used to annoy, harass, intimidate. And then you had a June 2011, the misdemeanor assault. So is that the one, I'm assuming all those were 2011, that all pertains to the same sequence of events? Car wreck?
It's all it's all from the same shit. And I should probably have 2 more assaults in there, but they got dropped because she would not stop fucking running her mouth, and I cannot contain when somebody's talking about my kids. I'm pulling the fuck up on you. Like, that's what's happening.
What type of things was she saying?
That she's taking custody of my kids, and at the time my brother was deployed to Iraq, and she would message me, I hope that he doesn't come home. If he does come home, it's in a box. So it was just a bunch of shit, and I just crashed out.
I know, we do need a timeline.
Think that
a predator talking about protecting kids is crazy. That's what I'm telling you. She is talking about her child at this point. We ain't even got to the other part.
Were you struggling after you had your baby at all, like mentally, like postpartum?
No.
This is the part that got me.
So a lot of people like to say, and I say a lot of people as one person, likes to say that you cannot be diagnosed with both types of bipolar.
You said it's one person. It's actually not just one person. It's actually the DSM-5, but okay.
By 2 psychiatrists with both types of bipolar for I don't know how long in my life. Mm-hmm. It's mania. I don't know. I'm crazy, and that's fine with me. I'm crazy.
So when it comes to, I mean, okay, so I'm sure the main question is why do you think that you can talk about Bree and her custody situation when you had this happen? I think that's what most people are trying to understand is basically throwing stones from a glass house. So do you want to explain?
For sure. Yeah, so you guys, I'm not a piece of shit. I am a full custody mother. I do not go out and party. I don't go out and do shit. I got my first break from being a mom, and still was it the other day, and it was for a couple of days. I don't do anything. I don't even know how to explain it.
Congratulations, girl. Bye.
So after foster care, did you
can you tell that after she did that, I was like, let's move on from this? I really thought she was going to take that opportunity to be like, you know, I didn't ever think of it that way, but yeah, I can kind of see. Nope. She said, 10 toes down, baby.
Yep.
And you got full custody of him.
Yep.
Okay. So, and since then, have you ever lost custody of your son? Has there been any major
bipolar? Yes, you can't have anything like that. Bipolars. They don't diagnose you with both.
I've never, since then, never one time has CPS came to my doorstep. Have they contacted me? Has anything happened with me as a mother? Not once.
Do you feel like in that time, did it make you rethink your actions? You know what I mean? Like your kid got taken away in that moment. Like, did it make you say, okay, I have to do shit differently?
I don't know. If Regina wants to come up, she's welcome to. Like, there is no harm
to not lose. Yeah,
towards Regina.
She
is not her sister
in the situation, because you are fairly young in this. So, you know, do you
once had an EMT come in the ER because he broke his femur, running himself over with ambulance by accident? That's wild. Okay. So is that
I crashed out on people? Well, on the sister-in-law. Fuck yeah, I did.
So is that because I mean, okay, so that was the first thing, and then let's see, because those were all June 2011. So let's jump forward.
It's a DSM-5. So like
substance. So do you want to? It says initially pled not guilty and then changed to guilty plea.
She's 33. She was born in 92.
Yeah, I never I never went into that to plead not guilty. It was the attorney was like, no, you need to plead not guilty so it's not such a bad charge. It was one pill, and I'm not going to say who had it and what the relation to me is, but it was sitting in the floorboard of the passenger seat where I was sitting.
I was so taken back by the responses.
I have one kidney. I can't be a rug addict, you guys. I'm a one kidney person over here. Cannot.
So that one. Also, just a reminder, we do a perk of being a subscriber here is you get to be in my Discord. And if you're in the Discord, you get the documents. So usually after me and my team are finished with our postings of these documents, then we upload them to the documents section in our Discord for the subscribers if they want